Hey you guys, so today we're going to be having a look at the new chocolate bar palettes from Revolution. So we're just going to jump straight into it because this is going to be a long one. This is the box that it came in. It says Revolution on two of the sides. And then on the inside, it says this. We fight for quality, we fight for speed, we fight for diversity, we fight for you. And I'm thinking to myself, it's just makeup. Like, girl, come on, it's just makeup. Oh no, I don't know. So the palettes themselves came in this, like they were shrink wrapped on this board. And we have the 4 palettes. We have the Macaroons. As you can see, this one has a teal box. And the Macaroons are pink and they're shiny. This one has a purple box and it has pink polka dots. This one's called the Cotton Candy. Then we also have the Lemon Drizzle, which is yellow, and we've got shiny lemons on it. And then we've got the Galactic palette. This one is silver, and I'm not too sure if you can see it, but it's like it has space dust on the side. Hopefully you can see it. So they have upgraded the way that the packaging looks, but I feel like the boxes, they feel kind of flimsy. But considering that they're what, a tenner each, something like that, or just under £10, I don't feel like I should be expecting the world. So, and I'm only going to throw these boxes away. So we're going to start off with the Cotton Candy palette. This is what it looks like, and it says here that they have 3 mattes and 15 shimmers. The mattes are 1.2 grams, which is 0.042 ounces. And the shimmers are 1 gram, which is 0.035 ounces each. Now, all 4 palettes smell just like chocolate. They don't smell like anything spectacular. I did half expect the lemon one to smell like lemons, but it didn't. But anyway, let's be honest, Cotton Candy and Macaroons, what do they smell like? And what does the Galaxy smell like? Nothing. So this is inside the Cotton Candy palette. This is like my fave. This is just so pretty. This reminds me just like it reminds me of candy, most definitely. So I'm gonna do some swatches so you can see what they look like. Okay, so these are the swatches, and I've got 2 at the top there, as you can see. I am really disappointed with this. I thought that it was going to be so much better, and it just isn't. It's like there's only a couple of shades which are even showing up, like this shade here called Strawberry, this shade here called Pretty in Pastel. These 2 at the top here, those are kind of disappointing as well. Like, there is basically no pigment. Oh, this one here at the beginning, this one here at the beginning, this is really nice too. Aside from that, it's like there is no color, there's no pigment. So already we've got one which just, this was my favorite one out of all of them. When I was looking on the website, this was my favorite one. I'm still going to be trying to make a look out of this, trying to make something pretty and just beautiful. I know swatches aren't always the best way to test out a palette, but they give a decent indication of what to expect. For example, when I tested the Pinks and Palms palette by Smashbox, it was patchy, it was not showing up, and that's exactly what happened with the swatches, which is the same thing that happened when I tried to use it on my eyes. So it's a fair indication. It may not be like down to a T or an exact science, but I'm really disappointed in that, really. Next, we're going to be trying out the Macaroons, and it's the same situation with the Cotton Candy. The mattes have 1.2 grams, the shimmers have 1 gram, but this one has 4 mattes, and this one has 4 mattes and 14 shimmers. So this is what it looks like on the inside. This is kind of giving me the, you know, the Tarte Icy Betch palette. I know it was like more green and blue, and I know this has a little bit more browns in it. but I feel like it's kind of along the same kind of tone. So I kind of feel like I don't need to get the Shop Hush version because I've got this. That's just how I feel first off. I might be completely like wrong. This when I first saw it, I was like, that's actually really pretty. It's not the kind of palette that I would normally go for. It's not the palette that I would normally get, but for what it is, considering that it's predominantly greens and blues, it's a really pretty palette, and it's something that I would at least try to use. So let's do some swatches. Okay, so as you can see, these swatches actually showed up. Like, there's a couple of browns here. I can see them on camera, but practically they are so close to my skin tone they almost fade away. And also this brown here as well, and this one, these ones here as well. They literally are like my skin tone, but these ones are so much better than the first palette. I definitely prefer this one to the Cotton Candy. Like, this actually has pigment. I don't understand how is it that they can release 4 palettes and one of them literally is no good and one of them is literally really good. Like, how does that happen? Maybe I got a bad one of the Cotton Candy, I don't know. So straight away, this one is 10 times better than the Cotton Candy, and I would definitely prefer to use this one as opposed to the Cotton Candy. But I will be making looks with all 4 of them, but let's see how the other 2 turn out. So next we have the Lemon Drizzle, and it's the same situation. They are 1.2 grams for the mattes and 1 gram for the shimmers, but this one has 10 mattes and 8 shimmers. So they've kind of like come away from doing a ton of shimmers, and I would have thought that they would have probably wanted more shimmers in this one because we're talking about lemons, like lemons zesty, and that's what I would have thought anyway. But here is what it looks like on the inside. I actually really like this. I love this. This is more lemony than a lot of the lemon palettes that people have been trying to bring out. Maybelline tried to do a lemon palette. Dominique Cosmetics tried to do a lemon palette. Well, they both tried to do lemonade palettes. But lemon, lemonade, like, really, is there much of a difference? It's the same fruit. But yeah, this is more lemony. I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's like a cream with a hint of yellow. It's fair to say that there's 5 yellows, like 5 real yellows. This one's like borderline gold, basically. I really like this. So let's just do some swatches. Okay, so here are all of the swatches for the lemon palette. This is so pretty. I'm absolutely loving this red, absolutely loving this yellow, but this one's a little bit chalky. I feel like these 3 are the standouts personally, but I still absolutely love this pink. Gorgeous. This palette is a nice palette and I think it swatches really well. Okay, so this palette, I feel like it's kind of on par with the Macaroons. Beautiful, gorgeous. I can't wait to use this one. I think this is one I'm going to use probably first, I think. I don't know. And lastly, we have the Galactic palette. Hopefully I didn't blind you there. And again, the mattes, 1.2 grams. Shimmers, 1 gram. The mattes, they have 5 and 13 shimmers in this one. Now, this one was the least fave of mine when I looked at it on the website. But then when I got it in real life, I was like, I actually really like this. I feel like it's very dark, and that was the thing that was putting me off, is that it's really, really dark. Like the mattes, the accompanying colors, they're really, really deep colors, and the shimmers themselves are quite deep, and I'm not a fan of marbled shadows. I'm just not a fan of it. Like, it reminds me of the Galaxy Chic palette from BH Cosmetics. Like, they had that baked formula. This isn't baked, but their ones was, and I just was not a fan of it at all. But let's see what it's saying. Like, in real life, it's actually really, really pretty, but it's still not my first choice of palette. Like, if I had to look at all 4 of the ones that we have here and say, oh, which one would you prefer without swatching, without trying it, this one would definitely be like the least fave. Okay, so here are the shades. I have to be honest with you, I don't feel like these shades go together at all. They just don't. I'm looking at these, and even though individually they are pretty, but together it's like, and these were swatched, all of them were swatched. Every single palette was swatched in the order of the shades in the palette itself, so I didn't just mix them up and just randomly put them anywhere. Put them in the order that they were actually laid down in the palette. So this to me is like the most erratic, most random selection of colors. I'm not sold on it. As I said, they are individually nice, but together they're just like wah wah wah. Right, so what I have to say about this, as I said, I feel like they are just the most random colors. I also feel like these marble ones are just so dry. They're pigmented, but they're dry to the touch. The shimmers, like just the regular shimmers that don't have that marbling, those are soft, they're not dry. But the marbled ones, they're dry, and they're drier than the mattes. And these are supposed to be shimmers. So it's just kind of like, I don't get it. Obviously, whatever the ingredients is that they need to use to make the marble effect is, and whatever method as well, is what's making it so dry to the touch. But to be fair, I don't really see why they have to even make these marbled anyway, because I don't feel like the marble does anything for the color. I don't think it adds anything. I don't think it makes it better. And to me, I feel like they could have just stuck to their regular shimmer formula, like these ones, this one, rather than do this marble shimmer thing. It's just dry. But as I said, they are still pigmented, but it's just dry. And as I said, they're just random colors put together. That's how I see it when they're swatched. They're just like, how would I use those together? I'm just gonna end up making a very basic, very blah, very bland look, especially as it's so dark as well. I don't know. So with all of these palettes, I kind of feel like the worst out of all of them was my fave, which is the cotton candy. Like, visually, it's very aesthetically pleasing. It's very visually pleasing, but I don't know, like, did I get a bad one? Because this is the only one which is bad out of all four. The rest of them are so creamy, so pigmented. Aside from the Galaxy marbled shadows, those are dry, but they're at least still pigmented. Nothing in here I found was pigmented. I just found that it was just so blah. I don't know, I'm just really upset and wound up and just disappointed with it. This is probably going to be the one that I draw toward least, and I would say, even if you were a collector, just drop this one out. But I really do hope that I just got a bad one, because I don't understand how they can make 4 palettes all at the same time and one of them is like horrendously bad in comparison to the other 3. Because the other 3 are at least on par with one another. Whether I like the shades or not, they are on par with one another. I feel color-wise, the Galactic palette is just not for me, because I just feel like these are random shades put together and I just don't understand how I would use it, to be fair. I have to be honest. My 2 faves are the Macaroons and the Lemon Drizzle. It's hard to say which one is my favorite. I don't know which one's going to be my favorite until I try them. But so far, they're both really, really beautiful. And I can't wait to try them out on my eyes. I feel like the formula with these and the Galaxy is definitely a step up. Because I find that with a lot of their palettes, there's shades which are hit and miss. Even when it comes to shimmers. And I kind of feel like that's what's happened with the cotton candy one. But with these, at least, it's pretty much consistent. The browns, literally all of their browns, literally always just blend into my skin. I don't know what it is, like my skin just absorbs their browns. And it's just too close to my own skin tone. But that's fine, because it would be fine for me to use to go in the crease. So that's my first impressions just via swatching. I hope that you found this useful. If you've already gotten these, if you got the cotton candy, can you tell me whether or not yours was good or not? Because mine was atrocious, absolutely atrocious. Do I think that you guys need to go out and get these? I think that out of all of them, it's these 2 that you need to get. These 2 are gorgeous, and especially this one. Not a lot of people are going to have these shades in their collection. Some of the shades that are in here, people are going to already have in their collection, but this one's still really good. It's still really good. So out of all 4, I would recommend these 2. In a couple of days, look out for my first tutorial. I'll be doing 2 tutorials in one video. and then I'll do another two tutorials in another video, just so we're not doing a whole long situation of tutorials. Like we're gonna put two tutorials in one video. So that'll be 2 videos because I've got 4 palettes. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, put me on notification please. I'll see you in the next one.